Hey folks! I've been working on a video about the artistic merit of the flags of the states of the United States, and I was almost done with my editing when I saw a big YouTuber, CGP Grey, posted a video about the flags of the states of the United States. And by eerie coincidence, some of the stuff he says on this video is really similar to the stuff I say on my video. So much so that I actually considered just scrapping the idea and moving on to something else. But I had already put so much work into the project that I decided, no, I'm going to finish it and put a little disclaimer saying that no, I totally did not copy him, but I wouldn't mind getting more views because of his video if it happens. And also, if you're easily offended by commentary being made on the flags of your state, this video is not for you. Also, David here is naked throughout the entire video, and they can't handle that in Florida apparently, so you've been warned. Now, without further ado, here's the artistic merits of the flags of the states of the United States. So first we have to establish some rules of what consists a good flag. And to start with, if you put your state name on the flag, you automatically disqualify for S tier, because it's silly that you have to put your state name on the flag. A flag is a flag, it's not a billboard advertising things. Second, if you put writing on the flag, it may disqualify from the top tiers depending on what is written. And third, and actually most important, a normal person should be able to draw the flag. Flags need to have a certain degree of universality to them. You shouldn't need advanced art techniques to draw the state flag. So let's start alphabetically, and we'll start with Alabama, which is already a problem because it's a big red X. It's basically telling you, no, don't go there. And artistically that's terrible, but as a flag it works. And I think I'm going to put this as a D because it works as a flag, even though it's not a very pretty one. And then we'll go to Alaska. And I think the Alaskan flag is quite beautiful. It's a deep blue field, and it has the northernmost star, and it is the northernmost state. And then it has a piece of the Ursa Major there still, and I think Alaska is still the only state that consistently has bears. And they didn't put an actual bear on their flag, but they put the constellation of the bear. So it's a beautiful flag, but it's a little bit plain, a little bit lacking. So I'm gonna have to give it a B. The next one is Arizona, and this flag is ridiculous, but I love it. This is what a flag should be. It has some radial stripes there, it has a big copper star, a big blue field back there, and it's kind of bonkers, but it is an awesome flag design. And it reminds me of Wonder Woman for some reason. So I'm going to give this the first S tier is going to be for Arizona. And then we go to Arkansas. And this flag is terrible. It looks like a label on a beer can or something. And they put their name on it, so automatically they cannot be top tier. I think if they took the name out and rearranged the stars a little, that would make a top tier flag. But as it is, I'm going to put it on D. And now California. California, let's have a talk about your flag here, shall we? I know if I read about it, I'll find out what is that star for, but just looking at it, it doesn't tell me anything. And you have a frightened bear in your flag. That bear is terrified. Just look at that face. That bear has seen some stuff and it was not good. And then you wrote California Republic. That was what? 3 weeks you had a republic in California or something like that? And you would decide to immortalize that on your flag. Overall, as a flag design, when you look at next to all the other flags, it's okay, but I think it's a terrible flag. Personally, it's not a very good looking flag. But I'm going to give it a C for California. Then we have Colorado, which would be a very good flag if it didn't bother me the fact that they are using different geometric shapes and one of them is truncated and it's masquerade. That's a C and an O in disguise, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Okay, it's clever and stupid at the same time. So I'll give it a B for Colorado. Then Connecticut. Connecticut has some grapes, I guess, that's their thing there, but it's a little too busy. The flag is too busy, it has too many elements. It's pretty, but it's busy. and I'm gonna give it a C for Connecticut. Delaware. I think what happened to Delaware is they were inspired by the Brazilian national flag, but the person who did the flag was colorblind and got the colors all wrong, because these colors are terrible, they don't go well together. And the design in the center is too busy, there's too much going on in there. And I just don't like the colors. I think this is a very bleh color. I'm gonna give it a D. And for Florida, it's basically the same thing as Alabama, but Florida came up with it first. So Alabama is copying Florida and they just left out the seal. And here's the thing about flags, that another rule that I'm adding just here. Your state seal should not be on the flag. State seals are for other things, and they are usually too busy, too complicated, outdated in some cases. It's not bad looking, but it's a plain flag and with a seal in the middle. I cannot give it more than a D. But it's gonna be before Alabama because they came up with it first. Then Georgia. Georgia actually has a good looking flag, and it's a proper flag as far as flags go. And I should have a counter of how many times I say the word flag. But the side there is a little busy, so I'm not gonna put it on an A, it's gonna be a B tier-ish. No, I'm gonna put this as the first A, because it's a good looking flag, it's very well proportioned. Now as for Hawaii, they just put a Union Jack on the top of a bunch of stripes. Well, Hawaii was never part of the British Empire, was it? I mean, the British landed there and ruined everything like they do everywhere else, but they didn't keep it. And why did you put the Union Jack there? No, this is a very ugly flag. I don't like it. And Idaho, it has the state seal, it says Idaho in it. It's a huge empty field of blue with a little bit seal in the center and just a little caption at the bottom. That's not a good looking flag. That's an F. Illinois, I actually like the overall aesthetics of it, but they put the name on the flag, that's already automatically takes points out of them. And it's a little too much and not enough at the same time, if that makes any sense. So it's gonna get a C. Then we have Indiana. This is a beautiful flag. The flag of Indiana is just absolutely beautiful. It's well proportioned, it has good symmetry, the colors are very good match, that deep blue with those golden stars, but they put a name on it. So I want to give it as an S tier, but it's gonna go only high as A, because you put your name on the flag. Iowa's flag makes me think of like a political rally banner or something. It does not seem like something that should be a state flag. It's the flag of France, and they just stretch the white part and put Made in Iowa there. I'm sorry, it's ugly. I don't like it. Kansas is another case of those, and I'm getting tired of the blue field with state seals on the flags. If they took the word out Kansas, they made the seal bigger and they put that flower in the corner. I like that they put the flower. I think that would make it a lot prettier. But as it is, this is bottom tier. And similar thing with Kentucky. Kentucky is even more boring. If they took that design from the bottom, that floral design, and they flipped it upside down and put it on the top too, it would be more interesting. But they put their name on the flag and they wrote a bunch of things and they have dudes in the flag, so that's an F tier. Louisiana. This is a beautiful flag, actually. I like. Is that supposed to be an albatross? I actually didn't research the flag of Louisiana. Terrible of me. And is it? It's bleeding. Why is the albatross bleeding? And is it gonna feed its chicks with its own blood? That's kind of terrifying. I don't know. I get. If that's what's going on, I get the symbolism. But at the same time, it's terrible. But it is a beautiful flag. So I'll put it on A tier. And if you stop the albatross from bleeding, it goes up to S tier. Then we have Maine. Maine might be one of the most disappointing flags there is. In fact, it looks like it should be on a bean can. Or what is a produce from Maine? It's blueberries. It should be in a tin of blueberries or something. Maine blueberries. And you have that label on it. This does not look like a flag. This is a label. No, Maryland. What the hell are they thinking? This looks like one of those optical illusions that you look one way and it shuffles your vision and everything else goes out of focus, and you look the other way and you lose the other part of it. And they went all out in the medieval heraldic chivalry colors there. I kind of like it. And just because it's bonkers, I'm going to give you a B for bonkers. Massachusetts, on the other hand, it's not a good looking flag. The image is too small, it loses itself to the emptiness of the white, and the Indian is about to be assaulted by some unseen person from behind him. This is horrible. No, this is a terrible flag. Michigan is another label flag. It should be on a, I don't know, a sack of potato. What is Michigan famous for? I don't even know, but it should be on a produce bag of some sort. But they occupy more of the flag. It's not just a little bitty thing in the center. So I'm going to give it as a D because of that. Now I'm going to put it as a C because it occupies the flag enough, but it's still a blue field, and those are so boring by now. Then we have Minnesota, and I look at Minnesota's flag and I think of a ship's life preserver, and that's all that comes to mind. I need to start looking into it. It's too complicated, the design. But I will not put it on F because I like that they used a different tone of blue. So it will get a D, but it needs work. And we have Mississippi, and holy crap, this is a beautiful flag. This flag is just amazing. I love this flag. It's awesome. What can I say? I love the flower, I love the stripes, the design, but they wrote in it. So if you take the words out, that's an S tier. But with the words, it's gonna go as high as A, and that's where it's gonna stay. Take the words out, it goes up. Missouri is another flag that makes me think of a political rally. It does not seem to be something that should be the state's emblem or something like that. And political rally flags, we are putting them on the F, so that's where it's gonna go. But as a flag overall, it's okay, but they just took the typical stripes and put a seal on the center. It's not very pretty. Montana. Montana, let's have a talk about your flag here. What's with the spacing of those letters? It's like William Shatner spelling Montana. M-O-N-T-A-N-A. Montana. Or something like that. Too much. The writing is not good. Now, if you got to read, and why is there Spanish in it? Ori Plata. Was there a big Spanish thing during the gold rush in Montana? I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments, please. But if you took the Montana out, also take the Spanish writing out, and you blow up that seal thing that you have there, those colors are very basic. That actually would make a pretty flag if you made it bigger, the seal, and got rid of all the writing. But as it is, it's gonna be D tier. Nebraska. You just slapped your seal and you didn't even bother to do some contrasting or some coloring. This is F tier all the way. Now Nevada. Nevada is interesting because it has the most badass words in it. It's like Battleborn. It's like, that's my metal cover band names. Metalborn. But it's in a little corner, shyly tucked away. No, you need to make it big in the middle of the flag. That would make it awesome. As it is, I have to put it on the B tier, but if you make the changes that I'm suggesting, this would definitely be a solid S tier flag. Then New Hampshire. It's pretty. I have to give it there. There's this garland that has around it. It's actually very pretty. It's a little busy. They use the seal on the flag. They put their name. It cannot go much higher than B. And that's where I'm going to put... this looks better on C. B, C, B. Let me know in the comments. Now as for New Jersey. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's terribly ugly. This is a poor choice of colors, but now hold on a second, because if you look at the actual coat of arms of New Jersey, it is beautiful. It has very good contrast. The colors are good, but the moment you flatten them to put them in a flag like this, it looks childish, and it does not look good. I'm sorry. You are F tier. Now, New Mexico. This might be one of the most beautiful flags we have here. It is just beautiful. And I do have a suggestion, make the symbol in the center a little bit bigger. But as it is already, it does go on the S tier. That's a beautiful flag. New York took my advice of making the thing in the center bigger. They occupy a lot of space on that blue. But it's people standing around the heraldic shield and with writing on the bottom, and it's a D tier. I'm sorry, New York. North Carolina, on the other hand, it's a very classical flag. There's too much writing to put it on A tier, but not enough to keep it from B tier. Then we have North Dakota, which took my advice of making the emblems big on the flag and occupying them. They wrote their name on it, so they lose points from that. But I do think it's a pretty flag. It's generic blue, so it's gonna have to go... You know, I like this flag. I think it's pretty, it's well done, the colors are very pleasant. I'm going to put it as the B. Then we have Ohio. Their flag is pinched and it's a mess, I'm sorry. This is an F tier flag, I'm sorry. This is not a good flag. Oklahoma. Get rid of the name, make the symbols bigger, and then we'll talk. I like that you use a different blue. For now, you are a D tier. Oregon. This looks like a college or a university banner, not a state flag. Or maybe a sports team or something. This does not look stately. Pennsylvania. I didn't know they were famous for horses in Pennsylvania. But again, it's a coat of arms. I give it to them that they filled up the space. So they're not gonna be F tier just because they fill up the space. But they are not gonna go higher than D. Because it's blue and it's a little complicated. Now Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island has a cute flag. I think this flag is cute. It's not the most interesting flag there is. And they wrote hope in it for some reason. But I think I'm gonna go as high as put it on the B tier, because it's a cute flag. Then South Carolina, I know what is going on there, I know that's the palmetto tree that they like there, but I look at this flag and I think Ottoman Empire, and that's a little out of date. I'm sorry, this is not a good looking flag. South Dakota, they remember what I said in the beginning, that flags are not billboards. They are advertising a landmark on their flag, and they have the name of the state at least twice in there, and they have a complicated seal in it. But that said, I like the aesthetics of this flag. It's a different blue, the golden letters are nice. I think I'm going to give them a D for Dakota. And Tennessee. I think Tennessee follows all the rules for a good flag. It has nice geometry. I don't like the element in the center because it makes me think of planetary gears, and that throws me off the flag mood and puts me in the mechanic mood. But other than that, it is actually a pretty good looking flag. I'm gonna put it on S tier. I never have many great things to say about the great state of Texas, but their flag is great. This is textbook flag making going on there. It might be a little on the simple side, but it doesn't matter. It's very easily recognizable and anybody in Texas could draw it. So this gets an S tier. Utah. You know, I kinda like the flag of Utah, even though it's sort of a seal with date and stuff in it, but there's bees, and I like bees. So Utah goes on the B because of bees. Vermont. Vermont, we need to have a little talk about your flag, because this is a wasted opportunity. It is a little too complicated, the figure you have in it, but this could be better. First, move whatever the elk, stag, whatever that antlered figure is, put it in a corner. And then enlarge the thing you have in the center, make it dominate the landscape. That would make a much more beautiful flag. You can use that for free. As it is too dinky. It's an F. Then a flag of Virginia, which is of course the best flag, and I'm not saying that because I'm within walking distance of anybody whom I might offend by saying bad things about it. I say that because it has a boob in it, and boobs make everything better. Except that it is a little strange, it's a little busy, it has people in the flag, that always loses points in my opinion. The colors are well chosen and all, but this flag is a boob. And I think maybe if they make the seal a little bit bigger, that might fix it, might not. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a B for boob. And what is going on? What are you guys smoking when you designed this flag? You just put the guy's face on it. It's just George Washington. You just copied him straight from the dollar bill. Oh no. I'm sorry, Washington, but this is a failure of failures. You need a better flag, okay? I don't even know what to suggest to make this better. But I will say also, another red flag, ooh, flag puns. Another red flag for flags is whenever you have a person's face on the flag, that's usually what dictators do. You don't want to put Washington there. Then we have the flag of West Virginia. And it's a little busy in the center. It suffers more or less of the problem that Virginia does. But I like it because the colors, I was looking at this flag and thinking, why do I like this color? It reminds me of Christmas with those red and green garlands everywhere. It's a little busy in the center, but I like the blue border with the white field in the background, and I'm going to give it a B. Then there's Wisconsin, and I'm sorry, Wisconsin, your flag is terrible. It's very, very bad. You need a new one. There isn't fixing this one that you've got there, okay? Let's just discard it and start over. And the flag of Wyoming. I think this flag personally offends me more than all other flags there are. And that's because they took a beautiful design of a red border with a white border with a blue background with a beautiful buffalo silhouette, and they put a seal on the freaking buffalo. Come on, what you're thinking? That's insulting to everybody. Take that seal out of the flag and that's an S tier flag. With that seal, it offends me so much I'm going to put it as F, because it's terrible. I don't like it. It ruins everything. So that's the flags for the states, and I figure we could do a little bonus round with flags from the territories. Let's start with something that is not a territory, and it's nothing really. It's a district. It's the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. And their flag is a white field with 2 red stripes and 3 red stars. And it is boring. It is so boring. For such a beautiful place and such an interesting place, your flag is like the vanilla of flags. So I'm going to give it a DT. No, but that's going to skew my D, so it's going to go F. I don't want to change that. Next, we have the flag of the American Samoa. And I like this flag if you get rid of the eagle and the other stuff there and flip it around. As it is, this is a battleship flag. That's how I see it. That said, it is still a good flag. I do think you should flip it horizontally, but I'm gonna give it a C. Then we have the flag of Guam. And I like this flag, but it's because I see potential in it. I imagine this flag like in a commercial, a tourism commercial for Guam, and it starts with the flag, and then it starts to zoom in, the words Guam disappear, and that vagina thing they have there starts to open up, and the landscape that is just a drawing, the flag, it morphs into a real landscape showing you how beautiful Guam is. So it has potential. If just taking the words Guam away and making the whole centerpiece bigger would make it so much better. I'm going to put it on the D because it has potential. Then we have the flag of Puerto Rico. And this flag is absolutely top tier. This is better than a state or territory flag. This is a flag fit for a country. And it is just beautiful. This is an S tier flag. Unlike the Northern Mariana Island flag. It's a mess. It's just a mess. and it's in a blue field, so it fills automatically. And then last we have the U.S. Virgin Islands, and this is just the Roman Empire flag, isn't it? It's a standard from the Roman Empire, come on! That said, it is kind of cool, so it gets a D. So let's see if we're gonna move them around a little. I actually am happy with them in this position, but actually I'm going to move Alaska up one tier, because it is a pretty flag. Montana should be on F, but I see potential in it, so I'm leaving it there. I like the colors in it, I'm a child, I like colors. This is my definite tier list of American state flags. I'm sorry, everybody that I've offended during this video, this is just for fun, don't take it too seriously. And but if we have some legislators watching this and you want to take some of my ideas to improve those flags, go right ahead. So if you have any suggestions for what we should do with some of these flags, let us know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.